I'm Gerald Bentley. This is LVWS Confidential. This week, we're going to do a look back at the championship rounds from some of the episodes that we've already been able to put up on the YouTube channel. We've been able to talk with a lot of the wrestlers, a lot of the personalities that make up the professional wrestling scene in the combat sports capital of the world, Las Vegas. That's the whole idea with LVWS Confidential. And of course, the idea of the website, LasVegasWrestlingScene.com. We want to give coverage and let some of the stars of independent wrestling get a chance to talk about themselves, talk about what influenced them to get into wrestling, and just answer some questions that I think are of interest to wrestling fans. What got you started in wrestling? Who are your biggest influences? Dream opponents, dream matches. That's the championship round. That's the end of the show. I want to go ahead and show some of the best clips from the championship round this week as we build up into the 2023 year here in Las Vegas. Now, at the time of this recording, I do also want to acknowledge a loss in the pro wrestling scene nationally. Jay Briscoe, one half of the Briscoes, the current Ring of Honor tag team champion and multiple time tag team champions across the wrestling world, tragically passed away today. It's just now filling the internet. So definitely our thoughts, prayers are with Jay's family, and we'll miss the Briscoes. One of the biggest tag teams, actually, that until just recently didn't really get a chance to appear in the national platforms. Definitely a loss to the wrestling community. Now, we're going to go ahead and get into our championship round. Show you some of the best from LVWS Confidential over the last year. And then we'll be back with new episodes every Wednesday right here at LVWS Confidential. Thanks for stepping into the ring. Stay in Las Vegas, so nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're all pretty tight, so they know they can crash with us every once in a while.
Well, let's go into the championship round here. I don't have the Versus title. I got the LVWS Confidential title here. So
there you go.
Guys get to be the champions of the week.
Yes, my guy.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Going to the champion round here. Let me ask you, as a tag team of promoters, who's your favorite tag team wrestlers of all time?
Of all time? Demolition?
Yeah, like you're talking about in general, right? Not like locally
just in general,
or
anywhere.
Oh yeah, so I'll give you a little story. So I'm a big LOD fan. Don't get me wrong, but that wasn't my exposure to that type of wrestling at first. I was exposed to Demolition and the Powers of Pain first. And the first wrestling match that I ever remember was when Fuji was their leader for all four guys, and they're led into the Survivor Series team, and then Demolition ended up running away from Fuji, and Powers of Pain ended up picking them up. So like that was like, what is this? That was my insane moment where I was like, oh man, I really need to be involved in that. And then hear Demolition come out with that metal music, man, like that was what got me into wrestling and metal as a kid. So yeah, that was my thing.
Oh, there you go. Double influence.
Yeah, man.
How about what's been the most influential aspect of your wrestling promotion?
I'll let you start on this one and I can jump in.
Honestly, to be fair, to make sure everybody's listened to and respected. We try to accept everybody's input, everybody's values, and try to make everybody feel welcomed.
Yeah, and that's it comes to us out of fault too, because like we do our best to be fair, but wrestling is not a fair business. We do our best to include everybody, but we can't have everybody on our roster. Ultimately, we have to do some quality control, and some of the quality control does get laxed when it comes to some workers because we want to give them some reps. If you're not on that level just yet, maybe we can give you some reps to where you're working a little bit more and you're working with good people that are going to take care of you. But also we have to do that cutoff. And it's like, yeah, I do appreciate you wanting the opportunity, but we saw a couple of your things, and we might need to give you some suggestions on working on a little bit stronger. And it's hard to have those conversations because everybody needs to get better. Everybody needs to get stronger. Everybody needs to work up. And I do want to give people opportunities, but I can't give everybody opportunities here.
Yeah, fair. There's only so many people, and at some point somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, right?
Yeah, I mean, not everybody can be Superman. You got to be Lex Luthor every once in a while, you know?
Yeah. Easier being a babyface or a heel?
It's way better. It's way easier being a heel. Nobody wants to like you. That's just the long and short of it. Nobody wants to like you. I can smile at you. I can do everything I want, like verbally, to get you behind me. But when they first see you, they don't want to like you. That's how the world is. So it's so much easier making them hate you. Like I can make somebody hate me in a quick second. I need to build them to like me if that's the case.
And then on the flip side, is it harder to convince new talent to be a babyface or be a heel?
It's impossible. It's impossible. I have to get them to understand that you are nothing at this point. And I'm not saying like you're not a person. I mean that you're not a face, you're not a heel. You have to work on your craft and make sure you're a good person, take care of the people that you're working with, all that fun stuff. That's your focus. You're not face, you're not heel, you're not good, you're not bad. You're a worker. You're out there to work. They are going to determine whether you're a face or heel. If they like you, cool. If they don't like you, cool. It is what it is. Make some noise. That's what I need.
Okay. You'll let the people decide.
I mean,
let the fans decide and then go that way.
I can sit there and say, I can tell you a million times, I'm a great person. I do this, I do that. And they're like, well, why are you telling me all your business?
Yeah.
I mean, no, yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody that I'm a good person. They're just going to believe it or they're not. So why force anybody's hand? They didn't force a Stone Cold situation. They knew he was going to be a bad guy. And what happened? Yeah. He's the best heel and best babyface in the business.
Well, the same thing's happening right now with Roman Reigns. He's probably more popular now than he's ever been, and this is really the first extended time he's been on the bad guy side.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to like Roman Reigns. We just do. Yeah. Everybody, when you were supposed to like Roman Reigns, they were like, oh, well, I don't want to like that guy.
No, he's just another John Cena, just like you said. Yeah.
Now they love him. I love him. It's fucking awesome. I loved him before everybody else didn't like him. I was like, why do you not like this guy? This dude's great. And yeah, there was shit all over him. Cares.
All the time. Now, let me ask you then, what would Wes, Kara, what do you guys have? Just the one takeaway to the people watching. What do they need to look out for from Versus Pro Studios this year?
What you got?
I don't want to say anything to level up. Just to level up and follow.
Or do they just need to tune in?
Because I don't want to say anything and ruin it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not trying to overhype anything, and we're not trying to. But like, we got a lot of cool things that are in the works right now that aren't solidified. So we don't want to sit there and like overpromise, but we don't also want to like spoil any cool surprises.
Yeah, no.
We have some cool venues that we're going to shoot at. We have some good companies that we're working with. A lot of combination shows. A lot of shows that might not be in Vegas. So we're trying to like branch out doing that way. We got a lot of cool things that are branching out right now. But ultimately, we really would just want to focus on getting our students some work, having them travel with us, get some cool things done with that, have some cool experiences. We might not even have verses as of next year, depending on what the situation is. But ultimately, we are having fun doing what we're doing right now. And when we stop having fun doing that, we'll probably just find something else to pick our brains with, right?
Okay. Well, keep a lookout on all your social medias then. And of course, you can follow at Las Vegas Wrestling Scene.com on all the social medias and subscribe on YouTube for the new episodes hitting every Wednesday. Wes, Kara, thanks a lot for joining. And thanks for stepping into the ring here on LVWS Confidential.
Just like
here,
that.
We'll go to the title round here.
Just go ahead and
the
put it right here.
LVWS Confidential title. But you'll
there
get
you
the
go.
WWUS title.
USA title, yep. That's
yeah.
what I'm coming for.
So we're kind of winding it down. We'll go into the championship title round here. Just want to ask you a few questions. What wrestler has been the most influential to you?
Man, ooh, that's a good one, because to me it's hard to say, because just for me, I like always soaking up every knowledge from everybody. So a lot of people showed me different things, but the person that I would say, um, like my uncle, because he got me started. And
Got
then
you going,
I'll never forget. I think I even shared this on an interview with TNA when I first, they had me do a gut check, but just so that long talk he had with me, it just always stuck with me as far as wrestling. And I just carried that with me and would always, anywhere wrestling took me, I would just hear him talking, in the back of my mind of wrestling, and like, you go in there and you work hard, just certain things, like as if a coach, and you're out there and you're doing your thing, you just get reminded. Like, so there's a lot of people that are and showed me and taught me a lot. But I would say my uncle, the Barbarian, because from the beginning he was there and inspired me to even get in the ring.
The Barbarian's a great answer. He was a unique athletic wrestler for his time, and there weren't too many people that could go with him head to head athletically during that era, because that was before you had everybody was in great shape. I mean, he really kind of stood out. One of the best tag team wrestlers, actually, probably in WCW's history.
Yeah.
Really was an impressive performer.
Yeah.
No diving headbutts in your repertoire, though, right?
No, I mean, I get some hard headbutts. I seriously do.
Okay.
I have a coconut head. I mean, you could ask the girls, like, when this coconut hits, it's gonna crack. Not me, but
there you go. We'll have to ask Santana.
Yeah.
What about who's been your favorite opponent?
My favorite opponent, I think it would be Awesome Kong. Yeah. I enjoyed working with her because we're women of size. And I always, when I was younger, I remember scrolling through the channel and I seen her and I thought, wow, and I never thought I would ever wrestle her one day. And then we had the opportunity too when we were both with TNA Impact Wrestling. But I enjoyed working with her. Like, she challenged me, but she also taught me a lot. And I thought it was cool that we were both women of size and we were able to do what we did, And I was the first one to ever pick her up off the floor, because that's a big girl.
Yeah, she's big. That's an accomplishment.
So, yeah. So I'll just never forget that match with her. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And I'm sure you can look that up on YouTube. It's available.
You can go on YouTube and you're gonna
all the
find
Impact
that.
matches are on there.
Look up Lady Tapa versus Awesome Kong.
Okay. Who would be your dream opponent that you haven't faced yet?
Man. The Big Show.
Okay. Size for size.
Did I get
He's
you?
talked
You're
about
like,
wanting
wait,
to get back in the ring.
Big...
Yeah. He's in
AEW.
Just
wanted to feel little. You know what I mean? I'm like, if I'm next to the Big Show, I'm gonna be like this. No,
did you pick him up?
No, I'm just kidding. No, if I could have, rest in peace to her, but there was one person that I always wished I could have a dream match with, and that was China. Even though she was like before my time, during the time when I was wanting to like maybe wrestle with her, she was kind of still wrestling. So I was like, oh, if I could just work with her. it would be her. But
Okay.
if someone right now, that was my first match with Ultimate Women of Wrestling, Genocide. Have you heard of her?
Hmm. Yeah.
It would be her. I would want to rewind back to that first match because we both got disqualified. So I just feel it's fair to bring her back so I could just finish the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
1, 2, 3.
Fun. Good size, power against power. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So I would want to
Yeah.
see her
She's
down the line, hopefully with Ultimate Women of Wrestling.
one of the, I guess, one you'd say bigger stars of women's independent wrestling.
Yep.
See her in the NWA, and she's
Mhm.
been on AEW and I think on Impact as well. Now,
Yeah.
what about goals for the next year? I mean, we're into the last month of 2022. Outside of winning the UWW USA title,
Yeah. Okay, so
what other
my
goals do you have
wait, let
for
me do okay, just
2023?
like you
There
said,
it
my
is.
goal to get that USA title for Ultimate Women's of Wrestling because why? It's the first title. This is history and it's forever. So that would be like you already said it. I'm gonna claim it. One of my goals, but going into the next year, it's just I always set goals every day. So it would just to continue to be happy, healthy, and just be a good person. Even
Okay.
outside of wrestling, this character I have here, it's just so many things that outside of wrestling and stuff that I have goals and I want to keep that belt for a long time. But just continue, like I said, with you growing the Women of the Carolinas Fight Life and the
Hmm.
business that I run here in Charlotte with elderly. Um, just continuing to grow in life. I think every day we all have goals set, but the only goal I have on my mind is to get that USA Ultimate Women
The USA
Wrestling
title.
title.
There we go.
Make them bow
And that's it.
down because Lady Tapa is
Bow down to the
coming
Queen of the
to
Rings.
take that
Yeah.
title. You hear me, Santana? I hope she watches this because she can
No, we
12
need
flip and
to
all this. She ain't ready. If this hand catch her, trouble.
send her the video, right?
Trouble. Go ahead. You send that to her on Instagram.
We'll get it out to her.
Yeah.
And now I'm sure one other goal, which would be, and I don't know how close any of your students are, one of the students making it into the ring
One of the what?
professionally. That would be neat. One of your
Oh,
students
oh
getting
yeah,
into the
that
ring.
would
That would be
be.
neat.
That would be. That would be. Hey, anything is possible and dreams come true every day, so why not?
Sure. Well, hey, I really enjoyed getting a chance to talk to you. You are the LVWS champion for the week, so you get another title belt for your collection there.
Right here. I'm coming for that
Yeah.
strap.
And
Bow
then,
down.
excellent. Well, here, let's get you one more belt. This week's LVWS Confidential champion.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Can we bring this through the screen? How does this work? Do you mail
I
it
don't
over?
know. It doesn't hand over. But just ask you a few quick questions in the championship round here.
Oh,
Besides
absolutely.
the chastity, what's your favorite wrestling finishing move?
Ooh, besides the chastity, like that I have used personally, or just like in general, just in the wrestling
That you
world.
like. And by the way, that is a tremendous name for a finishing move.
Thank you very much. I came up with the name of the move before I even had the move. Like I knew it was gonna have to be a knee. But as soon as I came up with the name, I was like, oh, that's a lovely name. I love me some wordplay. So it's gonna have to be a knee. And luckily the finish was just as beautiful as the name. But
Any other ones that jump out at you? There's other, and it's not really a finish. The V trigger.
oh, the V trigger is really good, but everyone does. I don't say everyone does it, but a lot of people do it. So And honestly, there's only so many people who can like do it well. If someone's doing it, they're doing it and they're killing it, like a Kenny Omega, even like a Bloody Matthews, like leave it to them. Like it was something I definitely thought about. Like, I can use these triggers, but a lot of people do it. I had to come up with my own thing, and luckily I landed on my own thing, so that was nice. As far as finishers go, stuff that I've liked using, and that I haven't actually used it as a finisher a whole lot was the moonsault.
Okay.
Just because, well, one, I got the girth for it, that it would make it a believable finish, and two, it was something that I discovered pretty early on when I was a kid. I was like, I think I can do a backflip. I couldn't land on my feet, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I could do a moonsault variant of a backflip where I just belly flop basically.
Sure.
And so I figured out that I was able to pull that off when I was younger, and so the fact that I was able to bring that, even when I became a wrestler, I was able to pull that off. It always gets a nice reaction. I don't do it a whole lot anymore. Unfortunately, some of the places we've been working for a while now, whether it's been the mall or the boulevard, or even now the theater over at Art Square, low ceiling, so therefore I don't get to always bust it out a whole lot. And plus, I'm getting kind of old, and I don't have the grace to pull it off all that much anymore.
You have the ups. You need the 30-foot ceiling.
Yeah, I need me a bigger ceiling. So hey, if you ever see me back in FSW, maybe that'll be the time where it'll pop back out. But yeah, that's definitely the one where it's so pretty. It feels so fun when you do it, and it's just people's reactions to it. They just see their eyes light up, and it's just like, whoa, this big guy did that. And it's like, yeah, a lot of big guys can do a lot of things in wrestling. Like it's not uncommon.
Well, deceptively athletic. I've seen you hit a Pele kick too.
Yeah, I can do a little. Like it's odd. Like I've never played sports, but I've always been kind of oddly athletic. It doesn't make sense, but I've always been able to roll with it, and it's helped me out in wrestling a lot. So, hey, I'll take it.
Great. Just a couple more quick ones. Favorite opponent?
Ooh, favorite opponent? Oh my goodness. Well, off the bat, I'd say Jody. Honestly, Jody and I have had about 4 or 5, maybe 6 matches. All of them have been different, and I've loved all of them. They've all been very different. We have a certain chemistry with each other that it's kind of hard to describe. I think a lot of other wrestlers, they'll when they're talking about their opponent, the person that they have the most chemistry with, they'll just explain it as that there's just something there, and there's just always been something. I don't know if it was just the camaraderie that we had, and just coming up, as we did, it ended up translating into the ring somehow, I guess. And man, anytime we get together, we put on some really some of my favorite matches. But more recently, Sandra for sure. She brings a big match energy to her matches. And I've always had really good chemistry with the Shaggy McLovin as well. So I would love to get back in there with them at some point.
Fair enough. And then just one last question. The most influential wrestler to you?
The most influential wrestler to me?
Mm-hmm.
I guess probably going back to it, it would have to be Chris Jericho. Like I said, there's just you have to have that you have to be real with yourself sometimes. You have to have that ability to kind of look at what you're doing and to know when something needs changing and needs spicing up. Not necessarily just to do it, but for creative reasons, for the benefit of others, for the benefit of the business. It's like he played a pretty big role in that as far, and even like just as far as like how I go about working certain opponents or working a certain style and whatnot. I've always just kind of been like sorry like so much like just him over the years. He's changed up, not only just like character and demeanor, but like his style. He's able to switch it up with, depending on who he's in there with, whether he's a cruiserweight over in WCW in like 97, 98, or, fast forward to him coming over to WWE, and having to take on like, some bigger guys.
Sure.
And that kind of really helped me a lot. Like I approach every match differently. I don't use the same moves every match. Sometimes I'll put something away, depending on who I'm going against. If there's someone smaller than me, then maybe I'll bust out a little bit more. If there's somebody a bit bigger than me, as a Charles South, like I'll think a little bit more. I'll have a different game plan, and that's kind of all that owes to Chris Jericho, I think. So influential, probably, it's definitely Chris Jericho.
Ah, great answer. Now, coming up on the new year, so definitely want to wish you a happy new year. Thanks for stepping into the LVWS Confidential. Yeah, well, hey, we'll move into the championship round here.
Oh, yes.
You get to be the LVWS champion for the week. Going into the championship round, sure. What wrestler influenced you the most and made you decide to go ahead and get into wrestling?
I've always liked weird people. Either they're weird in real life or like weird characters.
Uh-huh.
Like I've always loved like Bruiser Brody or like the Sheik, like the original Sheik.
Sure.
Or like Sabu. Just like strange characters like that. I don't know about the most, but I think probably one of those guys, like Abdullah, just like crazy people, like crazy people. I love them.
Well, and what's really crazy with Bruiser Brody, you watch some of the documentaries about him. The documentaries all say he was the calmest, nicest family guy when he wasn't wrestling. But when he was wrestling, complete maniac.
He's a maniac. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I love people like that. Like, I've been so entangled with him a lot this last year, but his name's Dr. Redacted now, but I met him as Dr. Cube. He was always this strange character, and in and out of the ring. He was my first death match. He was like a lot of those first things for me, and he's just a maniac. And even wrestlers today that are like that, just with the crazy characters, like that's always what I've been like enamored with. That's always what I've appreciated.
Okay. Would you go see Dr. Redacted for your medical needs?
No, I think he's more of a patient. I think he thinks he's a doctor. I think he's a patient.
All right, fair enough. That's probably a good call. Who's been your toughest opponent so far? Or your favorite opponent?
Favorite? I've had a lot of cool ones, a lot of different ones this year. Dr. Redacted is a really good one. My sister, Sandra Moon, she brings out a different side of when I wrestle.
Well, you have a long-term relationship there.
Yes.
A long-running feud.
Robert Martyr, I recently faced at Grap House. He is one of the smartest wrestlers I've ever met. So effortless in his brain. Just all these different people I've had the pleasure of facing through the whole year. Just bring out different aspects, you know?
what area would you like to wrestle in that you haven't been able to yet? Country, state, city?
It's easy to say everywhere, you know. For the U.S., I really want to wrestle in Texas. I've been really wanting to head out there.
Okay.
And I think everybody says Japan. I think that's a given for everybody. But yeah, Texas right now is kind of what I'm looking at.
Okay. And what's your main goal for 2023? Could be wrestling, could be with the promotion.
I think taking Grap House into the next level. I don't know what that means, but I really want to take that. It's my baby. It's all of our baby.
Sure.
I really want to move that somewhere.
Yeah, and build it up.
Yeah.
Now, can you find Grap House matches on YouTube, or is there a streaming service when you have the carts?
That's our biggest curse. We don't do YouTube. We go on IWTV. Our biggest curse is that with our location, our footage is always either corrupted or something happens. So you can't see it, but I have this really like makeshift rig that I have my phone on. It's laying on a camera that I've bought for Grap House to kind of fix all those problems. But IWTV is ideally where you find Grap House.
Independent Wrestling TV. Okay.
Yes.
Fair enough. Well, great. And just for the sake of asking, because you get a lot of comic references in pro wrestling, is there a Lazarus Pit?
No.
No. That would be handy after the death match. Hop in the Lazarus Pit and everything.
No, I just lay on the ground and just bury myself, and I just wait until the next time. I just lay there dead. My body hurts so much.
Sure. And hey, I do want to ask too, where can fans go to find Lazarus merchandise?
Merchandise, actually, if they go onto my Instagram, it'll be at Lazarus_wrestling. I will have a link underneath, and they can buy merchandise. But if they wait a little bit longer, on New Year's Day, I'll be able to release my new design.
Okay, well there you go. So you can just promise it as a holiday present, but
yes,
get it as a New Year's present.
Yes.
Terrific. Well, hey Lazarus, thanks for joining us here, and best of luck in 2023 to Grap House. And then, of course, your continued defense of the Pride Style tag team title as well.
Of course.
Follow Lazarus. Absolutely. Follow Lazarus on Instagram. Check out the new merchandise. And to everybody, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year's. And we'll have new episodes hitting every Wednesday on LVWS Confidential, Las Vegas wrestling scene on YouTube. Thanks for stepping into the ring, being the LVWS Wrestler of the Week. And we'll see you the next time we step in the